Your why is the key that unlocks the door to your true purpose. Take 5 minutes to discover it and change your life forever. Find your why, the 5-minute formula to unlock your life purpose. Written by Rena Maija and published by Listen, Grow, Sleep. Chapter 1. The Reunion Revelation. Have you ever wondered if you're truly living a life of purpose, if you're not alone in questioning your life's direction? Let me share a powerful story that might resonate with you. On the last evening of my 25th college reunion at Yale, there was a celebration in a tent filled with dancing, music, and conversation. The noise grew so overwhelming that many of us drifted outside to hear each other better and reconnect with classmates we hadn't seen in over 2 decades. As I engaged in these conversations under the stars, surrounded by the historic buildings of Yale's campus, I made an astounding discovery. Approximately 80% of my former classmates expressed deep dissatisfaction with their lives. "I feel as though I've wasted my life and I'm only halfway through it," one friend confided, the weight of regret evident in their voice. "I don't know what my life is all about," admitted another, despite having achieved what society would consider remarkable success. What made this revelation particularly striking was the context. These were privileged, highly educated individuals in positions of power and influence. They had achieved conventional success, the impressive careers, the financial security, the first and second homes, even the first and second spouses. Yet beneath these external markers of achievement, most felt a profound emptiness. Who comprised the happier 20%? Interestingly, they were the literature enthusiasts, the Renaissance rhetoric scholars, the theatre people, and the history geeks. Those who had pursued education for the joy of learning, rather than as a direct path to a specific career. They had approached life expansively, weathering its inevitable ups and downs, yet feeling that not a single minute had been wasted. What distinguished this happier minority? Through our conversations, I discovered they all shared something crucial. They understood their life purpose. And this understanding wasn't vague or abstract. It was structured around 5 specific elements: who they were, what they did, who they did it for, what those people wanted or needed, how those people changed as a result. These 5 elements formed a clear framework that guided their decisions, shaped their priorities, and infused their lives with meaning. While the unhappy 80% struggled with questions of purpose and fulfillment, the contented 20% had clarity about their contribution to the world. Does discovering your life purpose sound difficult? You might be surprised to learn that it's actually remarkably simple. In fact, it's so straightforward that you can uncover your purpose in just 5 minutes, using a formula that we'll explore together in this audiobook. In the chapters ahead, we'll dive deeper into each element of this 5-minute formula, examining how it can transform your perspective and help you live with greater intention and satisfaction. We'll explore real-life examples of people who have used this formula to clarify their purpose and redirect their lives toward greater fulfillment. Are you ready to join the happier 20%? To move from questioning your life's direction to embracing your unique purpose? Let's begin this transformative journey together. Chapter 2. The 5-minute formula. Have you spent years wondering about your life purpose? You're certainly not alone. The search for purpose has spawned countless books, magazines, workshops, and seminars. In fact, Amazon lists over 150,000 books addressing how to discover your life purpose. Some people spend their entire lives searching for this elusive purpose, moving from one self-help program to another, always seeking, but never quite finding the clarity they desire. They attend expensive retreats, consult with spiritual advisors, and engage in endless introspection, all in pursuit of an answer that seems perpetually out of reach. But here's a thought worth considering. While an unexamined life may not be worth living, a life spent only in examination isn't really living at all. At some point, we must move beyond contemplation to action, beyond questioning to embodiment. What if I told you that you could discover your life purpose right now in just 5 minutes? Would that interest you? It might sound impossible, perhaps even suspiciously simplistic, but I assure you it's not only possible, it's surprisingly effective. The 5-minute formula consists of answering 5 straightforward questions. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? What do those people want or need? How do they change as a result? Let's break down each question to understand its significance in revealing your life purpose. The first question, who are you, is simply your name. It's your identity, the foundation upon which everything else is built. While this might seem trivially simple, beginning with your name grounds your purpose in your unique identity. You are not seeking a generic purpose that could belong to anyone. You're uncovering the specific contribution that only you can make. The second question asks what you love to do. Do you enjoy writing, cooking, designing, creating apps, coding, crunching numbers, teaching, or something else entirely? This isn't about your job title or formal role. It's about the activities that engage you deeply, that put you in a state of flow where time seems to disappear. If multiple activities come to mind, narrow your focus by asking, what is the one thing that right now you feel supremely qualified to teach others? This question helps you identify not just what you enjoy, but what you've developed genuine expertise in, whether through formal education, life experience, or passionate pursuit. The third question directs your attention outward. Who do you do it for? Picture these people in your mind. Who benefits from your skills, knowledge, or passion? Are they children, entrepreneurs, artists, patients, students, or some other group? Be as specific as possible. The more clearly you can envision the recipients of your contribution, the more focused your purpose becomes. The fourth question delves deeper into this relationship. What do these people want or need from you? What are they seeking when they come to you? Is it guidance, inspiration, healing, entertainment, clarity, or something else? Understanding their desires and needs helps you refine your offering and deliver it more effectively. Finally, the fifth question addresses impact. How do these people change or transform as a result of what you provide? What difference do you make in their lives? Do they become healthier, more confident, more skilled, more peaceful, or more successful? This question connects your actions to their outcomes, highlighting the meaningful change you create in the world. When you combine your answers to these 5 questions, something remarkable happens. Your life purpose emerges with clarity and precision. For example, I am your name, I, what you do, for who you do it for, who need what they need, so they can, how they change. This simple statement captures the essence of your unique contribution to the world. And unlike many complex personal development exercises, this formula can be completed in minutes rather than months or years. In my experience facilitating this exercise with thousands of people, from college students to corporate executives, from artists to engineers, the results are consistently powerful. People who have struggled for years to articulate their purpose suddenly find the words flowing naturally. The fog of confusion lifts, replaced by a clear vision of their distinctive role in the world. Of course, your purpose may evolve over time as you grow and change. The beauty of this formula is that you can revisit it whenever you feel the need to recalibrate your direction. It's not a one-time exercise, but a tool you can use throughout your life journey. In the next chapter, we'll explore why this simple formula proves so powerful and how its outward-facing orientation distinguishes it from conventional approaches to finding purpose. Chapter 3: The Outward-Facing Secret. Have you noticed something interesting about the 5 questions we explored in the previous chapter? Only 2 of them focus on you, who you are, and what you do. The remaining 3 questions direct your attention outward: who you serve, what they need, and how they change. This outward orientation is the secret behind the formula's effectiveness. It shifts your focus from self-absorption to service, from what you can get to what you can give. And therein lies a profound truth about human fulfillment. We find our greatest satisfaction not in self-centered pursuit, but in meaningful contribution to others. Remember the happier 20% from my college reunion. The common thread among them wasn't greater intelligence, luck, or privilege. It was their outward-facing perspective. They knew precisely whom they served, what those people needed, and how those people transformed as a result of their work. One friend, a theatre director, described his purpose as helping actors discover their authentic voice so they could move audiences to both laughter and tears. Another, a paediatrician, spoke of providing children with medical care so they could grow up healthy and pursue their dreams. A third, a financial advisor, talked about helping families understand their finances so they could achieve security and peace of mind. In each case, their sense of purpose extended beyond personal achievement to encompass the impact they had on others' lives. They measured their success not by what they accumulated, but by what they contributed. This pattern extends beyond my personal observations. The most successful people in any field consistently focus more on those they serve than on how they themselves are served. Consider the greatest teachers, healthcare providers, business leaders, artists, and innovators. They are driven primarily by the desire to make a difference in others' lives. They understand that true fulfillment comes not from accumulating achievements or possessions, but from making meaningful contributions to others' well-being. This doesn't mean they neglect their own needs or interests. Rather, they find ways to align their talents and passions with service to others. Consider this paradox. Happier people make it a point to make other people happy. They prioritize actions that help others feel well taken care of and secure. And life has a way of reciprocating. When we make others happy, we tend to be taken care of as well. This isn't merely a spiritual principle, it's a practical reality. When we focus on creating value for others, we naturally become more valuable ourselves. This outward-facing orientation also provides a practical benefit in social situations. How many times have you dreaded the question, "So, what do you do?" Perhaps you felt vulnerable or undefined in those moments. Maybe what you're paid to do doesn't align with how you define yourself. Or perhaps you're between roles, making the question particularly uncomfortable. When faced with this common inquiry, many of us launch into a mental monologue. Why is this person asking? Are they trying to determine if I'm worth talking to? Are they just waiting for their turn to tell me about their more impressive career? Here's a simple yet powerful approach. Respond with how you change the people you serve. For instance, I give kids awesome dreams. If you write children's books that help them fall asleep at night. I help people look and feel their best. If you design affordable apparel, I help people get their greatest work into the world. If you train entrepreneurs to take decisive action. This response becomes your personal elevator pitch, naturally inviting further conversation. The person you're speaking with will inevitably ask follow-up questions. How do you give kids great dreams? Or, how do you help people get their work into the world? This approach not only communicates your purpose effectively, but also creates an opportunity to share how others might discover their own purpose using the same formula. It transforms a potentially awkward social exchange into a meaningful connection. The outward-facing nature of the 5-minute formula also helps us avoid a common pitfall in the search for purpose: excessive self-focus. Many approaches to finding purpose encourage deep introspection, examining your values, passions, strengths, and desires. While self-knowledge is certainly important, too much inward focus can lead to paralysis by analysis. When we shift our attention to the needs of others and how we can meet those needs, the path forward often becomes clearer. We move from abstract contemplation to concrete action. From "who am I?" to "how can I serve?" This doesn't mean ignoring your unique gifts and interests. On the contrary, the 5-minute formula begins with who you are and what you love to do. But it doesn't end there. It extends beyond self-discovery to encompass your relationship with the world around you. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to apply this outward-facing perspective to overcome common obstacles in finding and living your purpose. We'll examine practical strategies for aligning your daily activities with your newly clarified purpose, even when facing resistance or uncertainty. Chapter 4. Overcoming Purpose Obstacles. Have you ever felt that you know what your purpose is, but something still holds you back from fully living it. You're not alone. Even after discovering your life purpose using the 5-minute formula, you may encounter obstacles that make it challenging to align your daily life with your deeper sense of meaning. Let's explore some of the most common barriers to living your purpose and practical strategies for overcoming them. The first obstacle many people face is what I call purpose perfectionism, the belief that your purpose statement must be flawlessly articulated before you can begin living it. This perfectionism often manifests as endless tweaking of your purpose statement, constantly second-guessing your answers to the 5 questions, or comparing your purpose to others and finding yours lacking. Remember that your purpose statement isn't meant to be a polished marketing slogan or literary masterpiece. It's a working tool to guide your decisions and actions. The power lies not in its eloquence, but in its authenticity. Your initial formulation might be rough around the edges, but that doesn't diminish its value. Begin living your purpose imperfectly rather than postponing it indefinitely in pursuit of the perfect wording. A second common obstacle is the gap between your current reality and your purpose. Perhaps you've identified a purpose that seems distant from your present circumstances. You might be working in a job that feels disconnected from what truly matters to you, or you might lack the skills or resources you believe you need to fulfill your purpose. The key to bridging this gap is to start where you are. Look for small ways to express your purpose within your current context. If you're a customer service representative whose purpose involves helping people overcome obstacles, you can fulfill that purpose in your current role by approaching each customer interaction with that intention. If you're an accountant whose purpose involves creating clarity so people can make better decisions, you can bring that purpose to your work with clients or colleagues. At the same time, begin taking incremental steps toward greater alignment. This might involve developing new skills through courses or volunteer work, gradually transitioning to a different role within your organization, or exploring side projects that more directly express your purpose. The path to living your purpose fully is rarely a dramatic leap. More often, it's a series of small, consistent steps in the right direction. A third obstacle is fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success, or fear of change. When you clarify your purpose, you're making a commitment to something that matters deeply to you. This raises the stakes and can trigger anxiety about whether you're capable of fulfilling that purpose or how others might respond to your efforts. To overcome fear, start by acknowledging it as a natural part of any meaningful endeavor. Fear doesn't mean you're on the wrong track. Often it signals that you're moving towards something important. Next, identify specific fears by completing the sentence. I'm afraid that if I fully live my purpose. Common responses include, I might fail. The one people will judge me, or my life will change in ways I can't control. Once you've named your fears, examine the evidence for and against them. Are they based on past experiences, assumptions, or worst-case scenarios? What resources, strengths, and support do you have that might help you overcome these challenges? Often, bringing fears into the light diminishes their power and helps you develop practical strategies for addressing them. A fourth obstacle is what I call purpose isolation, attempting to live your purpose without adequate support. Living purposefully often involves swimming against the current of conventional expectations or established patterns. Without supportive relationships, this can become exhausting and unsustainable. To overcome purpose isolation, seek out or create a community of like-minded individuals who understand and support your journey. This might involve joining professional associations, online forums, or local groups aligned with your purpose. It could mean forming a purpose partnership with a friend who is also seeking to live more intentionally. Or it might involve working with a coach or mentor who can provide guidance and accountability. Share your purpose statement with trusted friends or family members who can remind you of it when you lose sight of it. Invite them to ask you periodically how your actions are aligning with your purpose and to celebrate with you when you make progress. A fifth obstacle is what we might call purpose drift, the tendency to gradually revert to old patterns and lose sight of your purpose amid the demands and distractions of daily life. Without regular reconnection to your purpose, its influence on your decisions and actions can fade over time. To overcome purpose drift, create rituals that regularly bring your purpose to mind. This might involve reading your purpose statement each morning, incorporating it into a meditation or prayer practice, or posting it where you'll see it throughout the day. Some people find it helpful to schedule regular purpose reviews, perhaps weekly or monthly, to reflect on how their recent choices and activities align with their purpose and to set intentions for the coming period. You might also create environmental cues that remind you of your purpose, objects, images, or quotes that evoke the essence of what matters most to you. These visual anchors can help you maintain connection with your purpose, even during busy or stressful times. Remember that living your purpose is not a destination, but a journey, one that involves continuous learning, adjustment, and recommitment. The obstacles you encounter are not signs of failure, but opportunities for deeper integration of your purpose into your life. Each time you overcome a barrier, you strengthen your capacity to live with greater intention and impact. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to apply your purpose across different domains of life, ensuring that this powerful formula influences not just your work, but your relationships, community involvement, and personal development as well. Chapter 5. Living your purpose across life domains. Have you considered how your life purpose might express itself differently across various areas of your life? Many people make the mistake of thinking that purpose applies primarily to their career or professional identity, but a truly integrated life purpose influences every domain of your existence, from intimate relationships to community involvement, from physical well-being to spiritual growth. In this chapter, we'll explore how to apply your purpose across these different life domains, creating a sense of wholeness and congruence that enhances your overall fulfillment and impact. Let's begin with your professional life, since this is where many people first look to express their purpose. Whether you're an employee, entrepreneur, freelancer, or caregiver, your work occupies a significant portion of your time and energy. Aligning this investment with your purpose can transform what might otherwise feel like obligation into meaningful contribution. Start by examining how your current role either supports or conflicts with your purpose. Where do you see natural alignment? Where do you experience tension or disconnection? Rather than making hasty decisions based on this assessment, look for opportunities to infuse your purpose into your existing responsibilities. For example, if your purpose involves helping people overcome obstacles so they can achieve their goals, you might find ways to mentor colleagues, improve processes that create unnecessary barriers, or focus on the customer service aspects of your role. Even tasks that seem mundane can take on new significance when approached through the lens of your purpose. At the same time, consider how your career trajectory might evolve to more fully express your purpose. This doesn't necessarily mean changing jobs or industries. It might involve seeking out projects that align with your purpose, developing skills that enhance your ability to fulfill it, or even reframing how you think about your current work. Next, let's consider your relationships with family, friends, romantic partners, and community members. These connections form the social fabric of your life and offer rich opportunities for living your purpose. Begin by reflecting on how your purpose might influence the quality of your presence in these relationships. If your purpose involves creating spaces where people feel seen and valued, how might that shape the way you listen to your partner or engage with your children? If your purpose centers on challenging people to grow beyond their perceived limitations, how might that affect your approach to friendship or parenting? Consider also how your relationships might support your purpose. Are there people in your life who share similar values or complementary purposes? How might you collaborate with them to create greater impact? Conversely, are there relationships that consistently pull you away from your purpose or undermine your commitment to it? How might you set boundaries or transform these dynamics? Remember that living your purpose in relationships doesn't mean imposing your agenda on others or using relationships instrumentally. Rather, it means bringing your authentic, purpose-aligned self to each interaction and remaining open to how your purpose might serve the relationship itself. A third domain to consider is your community involvement and civic engagement. How might your purpose extend beyond your immediate circle to influence your neighborhood, city, or broader society? If your purpose involves helping people find beauty in everyday life, you might contribute to community beautification projects, support local arts organizations, or simply point out moments of unexpected beauty to those around you. If your purpose centers on empowering people to use their voice, you might volunteer with literacy programs, advocate for marginalized groups, or facilitate community dialogues. Community engagement offers a powerful antidote to the isolation and self-absorption that characterize much of modern life. By connecting your individual purpose to collective needs and aspirations, you expand both your impact and your sense of belonging. A fourth domain is your relationship with yourself, your physical well-being, emotional health, intellectual growth, and spiritual development. Living your purpose authentically requires tending to the vessel through which that purpose flows. Consider how your self-care practices either support or hinder your ability to fulfill your purpose. If your purpose requires sustained energy and presence, how might your sleep habits, nutrition, or exercise routines need to shift? If your purpose involves creative expression, how are you nurturing your imagination and artistic sensibilities? Similarly, examine how your personal growth activities align with your purpose. Are you developing the qualities, skills, and wisdom that will help you fulfill your purpose more effectively? Are you addressing the internal obstacles, limiting beliefs, unresolved wounds, or counterproductive habits that might be blocking your purpose expression? Remember that self-care isn't selfish when it's in service of your purpose. By maintaining your well-being, you ensure that you can continue to make your unique contribution over the long term. A fifth domain to consider is your relationship with time, how you allocate this precious, non-renewable resource. Your calendar and to-do list reveal much about your true priorities and values. Audit how you currently spend your time across a typical day, week, and month. What percentage of your activities directly express or support your purpose? What percentage feels disconnected or even contradictory to your purpose? Where might you make adjustments to bring your time investments into greater alignment with what matters most to you? This doesn't mean that every minute must be purpose-driven. Rest, play, and seemingly unproductive activities are essential for sustainable purpose fulfillment. The question is whether your overall pattern of time use reflects your stated priorities and supports your capacity to live purposefully. As you consider these various life domains, look for integration rather than compartmentalization. Your purpose isn't something you express only at work or only in your community service. It's the thread that weaves through all aspects of your life, creating a sense of coherence and meaning. This integration doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing process of alignment, one decision and action at a time. Be patient with yourself as you work toward greater congruence between your articulated purpose and your lived experience. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to evolve your purpose over time, responding to life's inevitable changes while maintaining connection to your core values and contribution. Chapter 6: Evolving Your Purpose. Have you ever worried that once you define your life purpose, you might be locked into it forever? That committing to a specific purpose might limit your options or prevent you from growing in new directions? This concern keeps many people from fully embracing their purpose, fearing that they might choose wrong or change their minds later. The truth is that your purpose isn't meant to be static. Like every other aspect of your identity, it evolves as you grow, learn, and respond to life's changing circumstances. In this chapter, we'll explore how to allow your purpose to evolve organically while maintaining a sense of continuity and authenticity. First, let's distinguish between the core elements of your purpose that tend to remain stable and the expressions of that purpose that naturally shift over time. The fundamental values and contributions that animate your purpose, such as fostering connection, pursuing truth, creating beauty, or empowering others, often remain consistent throughout your life, even as the specific ways you embody these values change. For example, someone whose core purpose involves helping people navigate complex systems so they can access resources they need might express this as a social worker in their 20s, a healthcare administrator in their 30s, a policy advocate in their 40s, and a mentor to emerging leaders in their 50s. The underlying contribution remains consistent, while its expression evolves with their skills, interests, and life circumstances. This evolution isn't a sign that you've abandoned your purpose. Rather, it demonstrates that you're allowing your purpose to mature and expand as you do. Just as a tree remains the same organism while growing new branches and shedding old ones, your purpose maintains its essential nature while developing new expressions. How can you distinguish between healthy evolution and purpose drift? The key lies in regular reflection and honest self-assessment. Set aside time periodically, perhaps annually, on your birthday or at the new year, to revisit your purpose statement and consider questions like, does this purpose still resonate with my deepest values and aspirations? How have recent experiences confirmed or challenged my understanding of my purpose? What new skills, interests, or opportunities might allow me to express my purpose in expanded ways? Are there aspects of my purpose that feel constricting or outdated? What would a more evolved version of my purpose look like? This reflection isn't about abandoning your purpose, but about allowing it to breathe and grow with you. Sometimes you'll find that only the wording needs to change to better capture what has always been true. Other times, you might discover that certain elements of your purpose have shifted in emphasis or expanded in scope. Life transitions often catalyze purpose evolution. Career changes, relationship milestones, health challenges, geographic relocations, or spiritual awakenings can all prompt a reconsideration of your purpose. Rather than resisting these moments of questioning, welcome them as opportunities for deeper alignment between your purpose and your current reality. For instance, becoming a parent might expand your sense of who you serve and how you serve them. A health crisis might deepen your appreciation for certain values or shift your priorities. A career setback might reveal aspects of your purpose that transcend professional identity. These transitions don't invalidate your previous purpose. They invite you to discover its next expression. Another factor in purpose evolution is the development of new capacities and interests. As you acquire skills, knowledge, and wisdom through life experience, you naturally become capable of fulfilling your purpose in more sophisticated or expansive ways. What once seemed like the fullest expression of your purpose might later appear as just one dimension of a more multifaceted contribution. For example, someone who initially expressed their purpose through direct service might evolve to include teaching, system change, or cultural influence. A purpose initially focused on a specific population might expand to encompass broader communities or issues. These expansions don't represent abandonment of the original purpose, but its natural maturation. Sometimes purpose evolution involves recovering aspects of your authentic self that were temporarily set aside due to practical constraints or social expectations. As you become more secure in your identity and capabilities, you might reclaim interests, values, or aspirations that were present early in your life but got submerged under adult responsibilities or professional demands. This recovery isn't regression, it's integration, bringing previously compartmentalized aspects of yourself into your conscious purpose. Many people find that their evolved purpose incorporates elements from various chapters of their lives, creating a rich tapestry that reflects their full journey rather than just their current circumstances. How can you facilitate healthy purpose evolution without losing your center? Here are several practices that can support this process. Maintain a purpose journal where you regularly reflect on how you're experiencing and expressing your purpose. Note moments when your purpose feels particularly alive and meaningful, as well as times when it seems distant or constrained. Look for patterns that might suggest emerging dimensions of your purpose. Seek diverse perspectives from trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues who know you well. Sometimes others can see emerging aspects of your purpose that you haven't yet recognized. Ask them questions like, what contribution do you see me making that I might not fully appreciate? Or, how do you see my purpose evolving based on recent changes in my life? Experiment with new expressions of your purpose in low-risk ways before making major life changes. Volunteer for a project, take a class, or have conversations in domains that interest you but aren't yet part of your purpose expression. These experiments can help you discern whether an emerging interest represents a genuine evolution of your purpose or simply a temporary curiosity. Connect with people at different life stages who share similar purpose elements. Seeing how others have expressed similar values and contributions across their lifespan can help you envision possibilities for your own purpose evolution. These conversations can normalize the growth process and provide models for maintaining purpose continuity amid change. Practice self-compassion during periods of purpose uncertainty. Transitions between purpose expressions can feel uncomfortable as you're letting go of familiar identities before fully embodying new ones. Rather than judging this discomfort as failure, recognize it as a natural part of growth and give yourself permission to be in process. Remember that purpose evolution isn't about finding an entirely new purpose every few years. It's about allowing your core contribution to express itself in increasingly authentic, effective, and expansive ways as you grow and change. The 5-minute formula remains a valuable tool throughout this evolution, helping you articulate each new expression of your enduring purpose. In our final chapters, we'll explore how to measure the impact of living your purpose and how to leave a purpose legacy that extends beyond your individual lifetime. Chapter 7. Measuring your purpose impact. How do you know if you're truly living your purpose? What evidence might indicate that your purpose is making a difference, both in your own life and in the lives of those you serve? In this chapter, we'll explore approaches to measuring your purpose impact, recognizing that the most meaningful metrics often differ from conventional measures of success. Traditional metrics of achievement, income, status, recognition, or material acquisitions may or may not align with your purpose impact. Someone whose purpose involves nurturing children's creativity might earn a modest teacher's salary, yet profoundly influence hundreds of young lives. Another person whose purpose centers on environmental stewardship might measure impact in terms of habitats preserved or policies changed rather than personal wealth accumulated. The first step in measuring your purpose impact is to identify indicators that genuinely reflect your unique contribution. These indicators should flow directly from the fifth element of your purpose statement: how people change as a result of what you do. If your purpose involves helping people overcome anxiety so they can live more fully, relevant indicators might include your clients' reduced symptoms, improved relationships, or new willingness to pursue meaningful goals. Consider both quantitative and qualitative measures. Quantitative indicators, such as number of people served, percentage improvement in specific outcomes, or frequency of purpose-aligned activities, provide concrete data that can help you track progress over time. Qualitative indicators, such as stories of transformation, depth of engagement, or quality of presence, capture the nuanced human impact that numbers alone cannot convey. Be cautious about adopting others' metrics without reflection. Your colleague might measure success by client volume, while your purpose might be better served by depth of transformation with fewer clients. Your industry might value rapid growth, while your purpose might prioritize sustainability or community impact. Choose metrics that genuinely reflect what matters most to you and those you serve. Once you've identified meaningful indicators, establish simple systems for tracking them. This might involve keeping a purpose journal where you record stories of impact, creating a spreadsheet to monitor quantitative measures, or scheduling regular conversations with those you serve to gather their perspectives on how they've changed. The goal isn't bureaucratic record keeping, but mindful attention to how your purpose is manifesting in the world. Remember that purpose impact often unfolds over extended timeframes and through ripple effects that may not be immediately visible. The teacher may not witness how her encouragement of a struggling student ultimately leads to that person's career choice decades later. The healthcare provider may never learn how a compassionate interaction changed a patient's approach to their own well-being. Acknowledge these limitations while remaining attentive to the impact you can observe. Consider also the internal indicators of purpose alignment, how living your purpose affects your own well-being and development. These might include your sense of energy and engagement, the quality of your presence in daily activities, your resilience in the face of challenges, or your capacity for growth and learning. When you're living in alignment with your purpose, you typically experience a sense of rightness and vitality even amid difficulties. Periodically step back to assess your overall purpose impact. This might involve an annual review where you reflect on questions such as, in what ways have I expressed my purpose most effectively this year? What evidence suggests that my purpose is making a difference for those I serve? Where do I see opportunities to deepen or expand my purpose impact? What obstacles have limited my purpose expression, and how might I address them? How has living my purpose contributed to my own growth and well-being? This assessment isn't about judgment or comparison, but about learning and refinement. Celebrate the impact you've had, acknowledge areas for growth, and adjust your approach based on what you discover. The goal is continuous improvement in how you express and embody your purpose, not perfection or external validation. Finally, recognize that some of the most significant aspects of purpose impact may be immeasurable. The quiet moment of connection that restores someone's hope, the example you set that inspires others to discover their own purpose, or the ripple effects of your work that extend far beyond your awareness. Hold your metrics lightly, knowing that they capture only a fraction of your true impact. In our final chapter, we'll explore how to create a purpose legacy that extends your impact beyond your immediate reach and continues to influence others even after you're gone. Chapter 8, Creating Your Purpose. Legacy. What will remain of your purpose when you're no longer here to embody it? How might your unique contribution continue to influence the world long after your direct involvement has ended? These questions invite us to consider our purpose legacy, the enduring impact of our life's work that extends beyond our personal presence. Legacy thinking shifts our perspective from immediate outcomes to long-term influence. It encourages us to consider not just what we accomplish today, but how our efforts might shape the future in ways aligned with our deepest values. This expanded time frame often leads to more meaningful choices and greater resilience when facing short-term challenges. Your purpose legacy begins with clarity about what matters most to you, the values, principles, and contributions you want to perpetuate. Review your purpose statement and ask yourself, what elements of this purpose have enduring significance? What aspects would I most want to see continued by others? What difference do I hope my life will have made a generation from now? Legacy creation involves both being and doing, embodying your values consistently while taking concrete actions that extend your impact. The quality of your presence and the integrity of your choices create an immediate legacy through their influence on those around you. Your purposeful actions create structures, relationships, or resources that can continue your impact into the future. Consider how you might intentionally share your wisdom and perspective with others. This might involve mentoring younger colleagues, documenting your approach or methodology, teaching what you've learned, or simply sharing stories that convey your values and insights. By articulating the principles that guide your purpose expression, you make it possible for others to build upon your foundation. Look for opportunities to embed your purpose in systems or institutions that will outlast your direct involvement. This might mean creating an organization that embodies your values, developing a curriculum that can be taught by others, establishing a fund that supports causes aligned with your purpose, or contributing to policy changes that institutionalize your principles. Consider also how you might inspire others to discover and live their own purposes. Your example of meaningful contribution, authentic expression, and purpose-driven choices can catalyze others' journeys toward greater intentionality and impact. By openly sharing your purpose process, including both successes and struggles, you normalize the pursuit of purpose and provide a roadmap for others to follow. Remember that legacy creation isn't about ego or control, but about generous contribution. It's not about ensuring that you're remembered, but about ensuring that what matters to you continues to influence the world positively. This distinction leads to humility about your own role, while maintaining conviction about the importance of your purpose values. As you consider your purpose legacy, be attentive to potential shadow aspects, ways your influence might inadvertently contradict your intentions or values. For instance, A leader passionate about empowering others might create dependency through controlling behaviors, or an advocate for environmental sustainability might establish practices that become rigid and resistant to evolution. Regular reflection and feedback from trusted others can help you identify and address these contradictions. Finally, hold your legacy aspirations with both intention and openness. Be clear about the difference you hope to make while remaining humble about how that difference might ultimately manifest. The most profound legacies often emerge in unexpected ways as others take your core contribution and develop it in directions you couldn't have anticipated. Your 5-minute purpose formula provides the foundation for this enduring impact. By knowing who you are, what you do, who you serve, what they need, and how they change, you clarify the essence of your contribution, the seed from which your legacy will grow. As you live this purpose with increasing alignment and impact, you naturally create ripples of influence that extend far beyond your immediate reach. As we conclude our exploration of finding and living your purpose, remember that the journey doesn't end with discovering your purpose statement. It continues as you embody that purpose more fully each day, overcome obstacles to its expression, apply it across life domains, allow it to evolve with your growth, measure its impact thoughtfully, and create a legacy that extends its influence. The 5-minute formula has given you the map. The journey of living your purpose, with all its challenges, discoveries, and contributions, is yours to walk. May you find deep fulfillment in knowing that your life matters, that your unique contribution is needed, and that through living your purpose, you create meaningful change in a world that needs exactly what you have to offer.